I'm the Amsterdam Foodie, and today I'm going to be taking you through how to make zuurvlees, which is a traditional Dutch dish from the Limburg region of the Netherlands. And to make that, we need beef. Now traditionally, I believe it was made with horse meat, but we don't really do that anymore. And the key ingredients are ontbijtkoek, which is like a kind of spiced dry cake, and appelstroop, which is a dark apple-based syrup. And we also use jeneverbessen, what's that in English? Juniper berries, bay leaves, cloves, and onions. And those are the key ingredients. So let's make a start with frying off the meat. In this first go. So the meat has now all been browned, as you can see over here, and I'm just chopping up the onions. That's quite a lot of onion because you want to make a nice, tasty, thick stew. As you can see, I'm using the cordon bleu method of onion chopping.
So you haven't lost your pretentiousness then since becoming the Amsterdam Foodie?
Well, of course not, as regular readers will well know. All the onions are now chopped, so we add those to the pan with a good swig of olive oil that my brother has already added before he started filming. Medium heat. We don't want to get too much coloration on the onions, but we do want to soften them. So while the onions are sweating, maybe I can tell you about my new audio app. If you are an Amsterdammer, or you have visitors coming to Amsterdam, or you just want to tell your friends about it, I've created an iPhone application which is an audio tour of Amsterdam. You simply download it to your iPhone, put your headphones on and listen to me telling you about the Dutch specialities that you can find around the centre of Amsterdam. You'll take a walk down the Singel. Try some smoked ossenworst along the way, which is a smoked raw Dutch sausage. Some cheese from the Rijpenaar. You'll try stroopwafels from a bakery at the end of the Singel. You'll wander down the Utrechtstraat to the food shops along the way. Back up to the Nieuwmarkt. Try some local beer from Brouwerij de Prail. And you'll end up at Wijn en Fokking, the amusingly named Jenever bar, which is just off the dam. The whole tour takes about 2.5 hours and costs under $3. So a good way to pass an afternoon in our beautiful city. So the onions are nicely sweated down now, so I'm going to put the meat back onto the heat and transfer the onions into the pan with them.
Was that poetry, meat on the heat?
Well, as we all know, the Amsterdam Foodie's second passion is literature, so maybe it was. So I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit just to get some warmth back into the pan. And at this stage we add the vinegar. Now it's called zuurvlees, and zuur means sour. And this is the sourness. Now we actually sweeten it up a lot later, but this is the sour going in. Now I'm adding 200 ml of vinegar, which seems like quite a lot, but we've got a lot of meat here. And we will be adding a lot of apple syrup and ontbijtkoek later. And we also add 200 ml of water just to give the meat some nice juices to cook in. And this is also the stage at which we add all of the nice spices. So the spices I'm going to use today, well, they're not entirely spices, but the aromatics, should we say, are bay leaves, and I'm going to use 8 of those. And also 8 juniper berries. Now juniper berries are the same things that are used to make Geneva and gin. And the last aromatic is cloves. And again, we're going to use about 8 of them. This is on Weidkoek, which kind of reminds me of a ginger cake that I used to eat in England when I was a kid. It's quite dry, so if you were to eat it raw, you would probably want to have some butter on it. But in this, we're just going to cut 4 good slices. And then cut those slices up into nice blocks. Now, at this point, this has been simmering for about an hour, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to give it a little stir and add the Weidkoek, which we cut up earlier. Now, it seems a little bit odd adding cake into a stew, I realise, but it helps thicken it, and it has a lot of spice and general goodness that will all break into the stew. This is what the apple syrup looks like, kind of like black treacle. And we need 6 spoonfuls of that. Right, family foodie, this is Limburgse Zuurvlees. Geniet ervan, eet smakelijk.